Hello and welcome to Think Share. My name's Zach. I'm here to bring to what I've been thinking about, sharing about, talking about, listening to, reading about that doesn't belong in math class to make you the goodest version of yourself. Today I was talking with one of my students. They were sort of, I don't want to say complaining, I'll give them some credit. They're just saying, hey, I wish we had more games and less practices because we had a bunch of snow days this year and things got postponed. So I wanted to share with them a story to just kind of praise practice and just kind of get people a little more hyped about practice, because I think whenever we think about practice, we don't really have a whole lot of good words to say about the act of practice, but I think it's really underrated. And my favorite story to tell about practice is not Allen Iverson's story, just saying the word practice 20-something times in an interview. But when I was on a D1 rugby team, when I played at UMass Amherst, and we had played West Point, we had played Northeastern, and we were going to be playing UConn soon. It was my senior year in college, 2011. It was the October that it snowed on Halloween, and that, I think it was the day before, the day after, during practice, it started snowing. And I remember one of our captains started yelling at us, UConn's not doing this right now. And I don't know that I've ever heard a more exciting battle cry to like rejuvenate a whole team and get them excited about practicing and sprinting their faces off. But we were in the middle of the snow and we were doing the beep test. If anyone knows what that is, the beep test, I don't remember the actual distance, but it is a cadence of beeping sounds where you have to cross a certain threshold before you drop out. And the goal is to keep making it across a certain distance every time it beeps. So I believe it's like, I don't know, maybe 10 meters or so. It starts off slow, speeds up. And I remember that battle cry got me so excited that I was a forward, and I'm a pretty big dude. I'm not that heavy, but I'm tall. And mostly the backs are usually your distance people. They get the stamina. But I was hanging in with the captain. It was me, him, and one other guy were left over out of 40-something dudes. And we just kept going. And our captain, as he was sprinting through this, he just kept saying, UConn's not doing this. And every time he would make the beep, you'd have to turn around and keep going. And you just wanted to give up. But it was every time just hearing him point out the fact that our next opponent was not out here in the snow, fighting through it, staying warm, getting better, building speed, building stamina. They were in their dorm rooms or their houses drinking hot cocoa and or drinking. And, I think practice is just such an underrated place for us to get better. And, as a parallel and a sort of a metaphor for those of us like myself that make YouTube videos, or we're grinding out on social media trying to create something, create a business or create a following, practice is every post that you put up. And one of the things that I promised myself early on in my career of, trying to build a personal brand was that I was not going to do things perfectly. I was going to fail a lot, and I was going to get comfortable failing a lot. And I think I've done that. And I think that my love for practice and my love of digging in deep and failing and hurting when it's snowing out, that's been a really great mentality that I've had the privilege to be inspired by during college, and something that I've grown with along the way after listening to a bunch of books and really being inspired by the Gary Vaynerchuks, the Darren Hardys, the Tim Ferrisses of the world. So my message to you is, whenever it is that you're about to complain about practice, ask yourself, who are you beating in the game that you're playing, whatever that game is. And maybe it's your ego that you're beating, but who is it that you're beating that's not doing what you're doing right now, that you can rally around and say, hey, The YouTuber that I'm trying to beat out in subscribers, they're not doing this right now. They're not putting in those extra 20 comments a day. They're not putting in those extra hours behind the camera trying to make things better. They're not editing to perfect one of their videos. They're not putting in the extra tags into those YouTube videos and making sure that the title is correct so that the metadata matches. Like, they're not doing this, but I am. Let that be your battle cry. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this inspires you to take better, more imperfect action today. And thank you for listening. From the Think Share to you, stay weird.